Hello everyone. Today I wanted to show some tricks and tell some tips. Mostly they are for the Modwave, but I guess some of them are also for synthesizers in general. So my first one is get these things. They will and use them to either bind your cables together, but you can also use them to mark colors to keep things sorted out. So that was a really easy one. So this is for the Modwave in general. So if you use the arpeggiator here, for example, so very simple, and okay, now you switch to something else, and you're playing and you want to change the arpeggiator. So you want to go there, oh, but you turn it off. So what you do instead is you hold Enter and then you so here we are somewhere else again, and now you can just go to the arpeggiator while holding Enter instead of turning it off. So another easy one, but took me a while to find it, because if you're like me and you don't read the manual, you just want to get started, well, it's a freebie. You can double press the shift to keep it active. If you press this button, you will go to the next, but if you hold shift you will go back. Another easy one. This one is maybe more interesting. If you have a sustain pedal or damper, as Korg seems to call it, you can use this to trigger effects instead of just only for sustain. So in this example that I made, this demo, you can see here I have the chaos physics. Well, I guess it's a little bit hard to see on the webcam, but you should see something moving when I press this. Yep, there you go. So whenever I press the sustain button, I made a trigger that makes it move the the chaos physics, so you can do some effect. So in this case I just bound it to the cutoff and the resonance. It's nothing fancy, just for the demo. But it's a nice extra control on your feet while you're playing, so it's a nice extra button. This one is for synthesizers in general. The Korg Modwave only has like a damper input, but it also has MIDI input. So if you have an expression pedal that doesn't have MIDI output, you can't directly use it. However, if you have an extra foot pedal, like this one on the left side here, they usually have expression pedal input, so you can put your pedal into the foot pedal, and then you can send the MIDI signal from your foot pedal to your synthesizer. Another extra gear that you could use, which I found really handy, because the Korg Modwave is wavetable based, is here this oscilloscope. So basically what you can do is, well, the Korg also has the analyzer here. Oh, let me go to this. And this. So now you can see it's only a saw playing, nothing fancy. But if I change this second oscillator to a square, go back here, you can see they're combined. So if you want to switch your wavetable, well, you only see a bunch of names here. So every time you want to see what you have to go back here and then check it out. Oh, and then change the position to see what's in there. So it's a little bit cumbersome. So a trick that I'm using is, if I hold shift, you can set the panning of the oscillators. So if I set one entirely to right and one to left, you can see here now on the other oscilloscope that it's two different signals. So we have the saw here and the, I don't know what I selected, I think it's the boiler on this one. So you can see two different signals. Well, if you go to the analyzer, they are both combined, so it makes it very hard to tell what you're exactly doing. So if I go here now and I want to select something, all I have to do is hold the node. You go through and you can see the wavetable here changing every time, which makes it a lot more easy to see what you're doing. Of course, you can't use the effects, so you can't use a reverb or whatever, because that will also combine the signals. So then you can't see the separate signals anymore. Then we have some things, if you're a beginner, that you might want to know. So in the performance here, it's because it's hard to see, I actually made some photos beforehand, so let me turn this on. So if you go into the performance, or if you hold shift and press, you can go to the next page. So for example, you can change the volume per layer, so you can, because like the oscillators, they have volume, but some signals are weaker than others, so you might want to increase the volume of one layer and decrease the one of the other. So you can do that here in performance. It's in the, oh, that's pretty hard. In the top left here you can see the volume, so in this case I have the layer A selected, and you can increase the volume there. You can also set the keys, so if you have two layers you can set, for example, this half to layer A and this half to layer B. So in this demo again I've done so, and I have this pad here to show it off because it's on a different MIDI layer, which I'll get to in a moment. So in layer A I have some simple pad, and in layer B I have a simple arpeggiator. It's not really about the sound, it's just, so these buttons are like these buttons, and then these buttons are here. So it makes it easier to play two things at the same time. Then in the program setup, which you can also see in the top, you can also set a random pitch range, which helps your digital synthesizers a lot. It basically means every time you press a button, the sound will be slightly changed. So if you have like analog synthesizer, because they're not super precise, this is basically what analog synthesizers do, but in a digital you can simulate having an analog one by doing it, and it makes the sound just a little bit more interesting if you just change it only so slightly. Let's see, what else did I have? Alright, so if, let's go to an empty preset. So if you want to modulate things, there's like a lot of options here. I'm not really going to go in depth, but let's say you want to use this this envelope here to, let's go for 2, to change the position. So you do this by going to mod plus, then you twist whatever you want to change, and let's do envelope 2. Now you can set the percentage you want it to change, so let's just put it to 100% so it's really obvious. There we go. So now it will always control the position 100%. So you can see there, let me just turn this one off. So you can see it go through all the wavetables really fast, because the envelope is pretty fast. But let's say you don't always want to go for the 100% that I set. What you can do is you can set int mod, which is basically like a modulation on top of the modulation. So if I set that to one of these buttons here, for example, well, you can't see what I'm doing because of the the screen again, because it's so tiny with the webcam. But right now I set it to this button, and then what you also need to do, or well, you can do, you don't have to, is basically you can either have them set in the middle, and then this is 100% up and this is 100% down, or you can make it go from 0 to 100. So right now I set it so it's from, if you set it here with a plus, that means it will be from 0 to 100. So right now the envelope won't do anything, and if I turn this up, you can see it's changing again. So if I set it halfway, it will go only to some of the wave tables, not all of them, because it was modulating the position here. Yeah, another thing interesting thing you can set from the performance is the MIDI channel. You can see it on the images in the middle image. In that image I have set it to MIDI channel 4. So what we can do here, because I actually need to set it in my thing as well, so give me a second. Next page, MIDI to MIDI channel 3 here, and now I have this keyboard, which is sending this one is set up to send to MIDI channel 3. So this one does not do anything because this is MIDI channel 1, and then I can play the MIDI channel. So that's how you can set up the MIDI channels. You can do it in performance, and then yeah, go to layer setup, and then on layer B you could set another MIDI channel. So if I set MIDI channel 1 on layer B, that means I will play MIDI channel 1 here and MIDI channel 3 here. So 3 plays layer A, and yeah. Yeah, you can also, I think, let me set up another image here, so these can go off. Another good thing to know is how you can use these buttons here. Right. Why won't it turn on? I'm not sure. Anyway, if you want to use these buttons to load a preset right away, which is like really good to do, you go to right here, and then in the top one you can change it to setlist slot. You press enter. Well, I didn't save the initial preset that I made. I didn't save it, so I'm not gonna set it right, save it there right now. But if you in slot B, that means you go to bank B. Like you have 4 banks here, so you can set 16 presets per bank times 4 banks. So you can, for live performance, you have plenty of options there. Why does it not work? Ah, there we go. So right now I'm in bank B, so you can select presets easy. Yeah, this one isn't working because it's set to MIDI channel 2, so that's this pad. So what I have this pad here for is, besides that it's really easy to set up with different MIDI channels, another cool thing is you can set it to toggle, and that means it will just hold that note. So I made this demo specifically with this device in mind. So here I just play the pad, and now on the other layer I can play the arpeggiator on these 3 notes. for example, let's put 4. Okay, and now we can switch to another preset, and these will just keep playing until I remove the note. You could also do this by holding a key down all the time, that's kind of cumbersome. So instead, this is a lot more easy. Let's say I want to remove a note. And you can hear it's a lot more simple now because I removed some of the notes. You can't press new notes now. You will have to go back to this preset. And then I can add a lot of notes again. Pad, whatever. So you can basically have 4 instruments playing if you use MIDI channels. Like I have here with 1 MIDI channel, not a well, this is actually only 1 MIDI channel, but it's a split keyboard. And then I can play another instrument here, so let's go to the bank here with I don't know, I'm just pressing you could also, if you have a MIDI keyboard connected, you could also use the arpeggiator on your other keyboard instead, because the arpeggiator on the Modwave it's alright, but it's not great. So yeah, that's something you can do. Okay, let's just turn these over again. Yeah, okay, that's it for the hardware, I think. So there's also some software that you can use with the Modwave. Of course, there is the Modwave Native. This program you can buy for €50. It's really great to get an overview of what you can do and what everything looks like. So yeah, you can basically see everything here, whatever you want. You can see the oh, what the hell, Modwave. I mean, wave is missing. That's weird. You also get like a 3D representation of the wavetable, which will help you understand what is going on if you don't have an oscilloscope. You could also download the oscilloscope for free. There's like a lot of plugins for it if you want. But I find my hardware one a lot easier to use. It's a lot more hands-on for me. A great thing about using the software for the native is that you can use this here, the main effects, because on the Modwave itself you can't see all these extra options here. Basically the Modwave uses presets, but you have to make the presets on your computer, so yeah, that's not a good thing. Let's see. This one can go away. This one can go away. Then you have this program, the sample editor. So the Modwave can play samples, and what's great about this program here. Let me switch the screen quick. Yeah, there we go. So what's cool about this program is that you can make your own samples using multiple audio files. So if I don't know, let me just pick some random one, dinosaur beat, that sounds cool. So it imported it right away. You can cut off the end and the beginning here if you want, for example. So now I only have this single beat. And then you can set it to position in the sample. You can play it from your computer as well. I don't think OBS is set to record it at the moment though. So you can see I have multiple samples loaded in here. And depending on what you press on your keyboard, you will play different samples. but that you can load all of those into one sample, so you can make like a drum kit or something without having to use multiple samples, which is pretty cool. This one off again. And then finally there's also this software. It's free software that you can use to make wavetables. You can basically just draw a wavetable here by hand if you want, or you can choose to pick one of the presets, and you can see here these are like some some waves in the wavetable. In total there is 64 in the wavetable, and you can play them here, and you can also set the speed here. So when you play now, it will automatically switch between the waves that you made, so you can hear whatever you're doing, like you might want to do on your Modwave. And you can set morph interpolate or not. So if you set it on, then it will fade from one to the next, and if you put it off, then it will be like a hard switch from this wave to this wave. You can also import audio files, or you can download wavetables from online. So I'll just pick a random one here, and you go back to the wave editor, and now you can see it loaded a lot of interesting wavetables. So yeah, I think that's all the tips I have for now. So I hope you enjoyed them, and maybe some of them are useful for you. And see you the next time.